Hey guys, this is a recording of an article from twotreesmarketing.com. Article Digital Marketing ROI. If you are like most business or retail owners, you find yourself struggling to progress from a physical location to that dream of sales and leads to your website. You want to expand your business online, but you just can't seem to get your site those sales. You build Facebook pages, Twitter profiles, and whatever new social media fad that comes up, with the hope that it will boost your customers, but you can't seem to make it to the next step. Yet despite this struggle, many businesses manage to push through and turn their website into the most successful salesmen. Take a look at Justin Cameron and Lex Peterson from Sydney. Frustrated at local retail surf companies' approach, they quit working at surf shops and launched their own company from their garden shed into an online business in 2007. They had knowledge of their products but knew nothing in depth about digital marketing or SEO. They just knew they needed it and trusted their gut that there was a possible market online, and they were sure it was a great opportunity. And you won't believe the results they had, and we'll tell you shortly, but first, we're going to show you the common mistakes most people make when trying to make their business work online, and the worst performing areas to spend your marketing dollars on. And then soon, by empowering you to understand and find the benefits and perform the research yourself, you can see the value and potential with your own eyes for digital marketing. Our goals. You will find out yourself how your website is performing for your business today. You have to know where you are now to make steps forward. You will analyze your market to understand what potential traffic you're missing out on. Why try to find and convert new customers if there are willing customers looking but can't find you? Converting those is much easier and cheaper. You will learn how to measure all that traffic and how it can benefit your business. If you can see a beneficial goal, it's much easier to stay on target and to knuckle down. You will calculate the potential costs and return on investment for digital marketing. If you can understand how well your marketing works digitally and elsewhere, you can see where your money is earning and where it's wasted. Maybe it works for you, maybe not. And finally, how you can measure your marketing effect on your website in simple steps. Find out which of your methods are actually bringing sales and dollars, then you can do more of the same. Bonus. All videos, info, and checklists for this article are available online. Go to twotreesmarketing.com/digital marketing ROI to download your cheat sheet. Section 1. What gets measured gets managed. Measure your website's ROI. Let's start by dispelling a few common myths about digital marketing and why the majority of small business owners fail in implementing or even starting it. As a business owner yourself, you know you have a responsibility to take action, but which method will be right for your business? It can be difficult to believe and overwhelming to even get started, and so you often ask questions just like Lex and Justin's peers did. Questions like, can I really figure this out? Will it work for my business? Does my business even get people searching online? Or how will I know if it's even working? Our goal in this article is to take these important questions and guide you to find out the answers yourselves. The road to success online can be tricky with a lot of opposing information, but we want you to dispel some of those arguments by finding out your own results. Below are examples of some of the common mistakes we find when people try to start marketing their website. Number 1. The paid ads are all you need myth. Most people are under the false impression that pay-per-click or direct advertising will be enough for their business, and we can see why. PPC can work extremely well for your company, but when you stop spending, the traffic stops also. It's very powerful short-term, but as a long-term business strategy, it can fall short. It's only as powerful as the budget you have to continue spending on it, whereas SEO continues to accumulate and build organic traffic to your website long after it's implemented. That's not to say PPC doesn't have its place, and we'll tell you how we suggest you to use it soon to dominate your competition. But for now, think of your marketing spend like this. Rather than renting your traffic, pay your mortgage and own your traffic now and in the future. Myth number 2, that you can't measure digital marketing myth. Some people are in two minds about SEO as they feel the benefits can't be tracked or measured, that maybe it's an intangible commodity. Some even think it's snake oil, and you'd be right to be cautious of who you choose to work with. The simple fact is, through sheer measurable statistics, if you rank highly for your product or service, you will have the lion's share of the traffic without a doubt. In reality, the simple problem most business owners have is that they don't know how to measure return on investment of SEO other than sales have gone up online, so it must be working. With steps in place, you can and will break down where your traffic is coming from and why, and understand how to improve it, as well as calculate the benefit it could make to your business. And you will learn how to measure it yourself, but before then, let's discuss the final worry most business owners have about marketing their website. The no one searches online for my business myth. It can certainly seem this way when you're not getting any traffic, but you have to ask yourself, how do you suppose your competitors are doing so well online? Do you think they are capable of doing things in their business that you cannot? Digital marketing is readily available for those willing to use it. There are currently 40,000 searches per second in Google and growing, not to mention all the other search engines out there and their traffic. Do you really think that no one is searching for your industry or services? The unfortunate truth we often find is two things. 1. Business owners simply are not in the right places that the customers are searching for. Your ideal customers may not be aware of your service, but they are deeply aware of a need to be fulfilled. You just have to know how and where to look to find them. Number 2. Most business owners simply don't understand the technicalities of digital marketing and don't fully trust or believe in the outcomes, so they don't give it a try. By the time you finish with step-by-step guide, you'll be able to find them yourself and know where to market to them. But don't worry, you're not alone in this. In fact, most businesses struggle progressing from retail to online. If you're one of those business owners who thinks that SEO is some strange witchcraft, that they won't really help your business get more traffic or sales, or you simply don't understand or know the benefits as you have no method of knowledge of how to check, then your prayers are answered. If you can understand the potential for yourself and learn how to track the results, then you can stop wasting money on antiquated marketing methods with low ROI. And more importantly, you can rest easy that your marketing investment is working and track its progress. So let's hand the power over to you. We mentioned Justin and Lex earlier from Sydney, Australia. They had their garage business selling surf goods as they found that retailers in their industry all suffered from these same misconceptions. So where are they now? Fast forward to 2014 and they are now the world's largest online action sports and youth apparel retailer with over 20,000 plus products at surfstitch.com. If you have bought a surf product online in the past few years, chances are high it came from them or indirectly from them. Not bad at all considering everyone told them it wasn't feasible, no one searched for it, and oh yeah, that you couldn't make sales online. But while Justin and Lex's success online looks remarkable at first, and it truly is a hugely successful accomplishment, the results are also achievable for your business. The techniques and resources they used are available to anyone who wants to bring in more traffic and sales to their website. In fact, we have seen our own clients from various industries improve their traffic by 60% in as little as 20 days, bring in 5-figure new clients who previously hadn't even heard of their services, and secure new leads and sales and boosted their authority as a market leader in their industry. But where should you start? You've already heard how beneficial investing in your digital marketing can be for your business sales and traffic. We saw how Justin and Lex took a garage business to the world's largest online action sports retailer in a few years. And you've heard how they have increased their sales and traffic. And you have heard how we have increased the traffic and sales for our clients also. But let's get you to see it with your own eyes. Digital marketing methods. Most business owners with a little research know the primary methods are either pay-per-click advertising or PPC. This consists of paid online advert campaigns that can target its viewer via demographics, geography, spending habits, and interests. Highly targeted and fast to implement, but can be more expensive and traffic dies when the budget stops spending. PPC is great for fast traffic now or for new product launches, special offers, or campaigns. It's also great for bringing people into your funnel who had no idea about you before. It should also be prudent to mention that 80% of search traffic is more interest-driven rather than immediate commercial intent. Due to this, the majority of traffic will bypass PPC AdWords, etc., and go straight to the organic listings. But those who do click convert much higher. A little bit of math. This means organic traffic, i.e. the SEO and stuff like that below, can see up to 8.5 clicks for every 1 click on a paid advert. But that PPC paid advert will sell to a client every 1.5 clicks. Don't worry, that's as complex as we want to get into it for now. We may come across as pro SEO, but we actually believe a great campaign should feature both PPC and SEO to succeed. As a method of direct contact, especially with those unaware of your services, is incredibly effective. Method number 2, search engine optimization, or SEO. Simply put, SEO involves ranking high in Google to collect the large organic traffic, i.e. the natural searches for your products. Search engines have huge volumes of traffic, and ranking high means you get the majority of that traffic. It's a fact that there are thousands upon thousands of searches for your products and services. There is no other form of traffic like it in history, and it is accessible by anyone in the world without geographical borders or restrictions. But people want information, and they want it fast, and they want it convenient. By simply being on the first page of a search engine, you will get more traffic and clicks than your competitors. And you'll learn how to find that traffic and measure its potential benefits to your industry. Why? Because it's much easier to invest in your business if you can see the potential and have a goal in sight. That being said, as consumers we want the information fast, and we normally take the first option available to us. Due to this, not all positions on the first page are equal. The top 3 organic searches dominates the clicks from viewers. That's not to say you won't see increased traffic from being on the first page. But according to leaked information from AOL, first place can receive 40 to 60% of these clicks, while second is more 10 to 20% and so on. This isn't set in stone. For every search it can vary, but just by being on the front page you are guaranteed more visitors to your site. But the difference from being 10th, and a 3% extra increase in traffic, and first, a 60% increase in traffic, is huge. Think of it like this. Imagine you are moving your retail store's physical location. You're moving from a dingy back corner to the front entrance of the mall will cause you to get a lot more traffic. It's where everyone arrives, so you know you'll get a larger number of foot traffic just for moving. But it's better than that. In this scenario, each of those mall visitors is searching for your products, because that's what they search for in Google. So it's more like a shopping mall where every store sells a variation of your product. So instead of just random foot traffic, it's highly targeted. They came to the mall for a specific product, you sell it, and your store is right at the front entrance where everyone visits. Lucky you. So which method to choose? Let's teach you how to find out the traffic, costs, and potential return on investment of digital marketing for your business before you even talk to an agency. You can learn the potential benefits, the costs, and how to track your results and find out for yourself just how digital marketing could work for your business without expensive software or 6 months of training. Why? Because we help established businesses struggling online get targeted traffic with SEO, PR, and marketing. We specialize in more qualified leads, more traffic, and higher sales and conversions. Step 1. Find out how your website is performing today. To get to any destination, you need to know where you're coming from. To build your website into a towering sales behemoth, you need to build a great foundation. A few minutes spent here will stop you kicking yourself down the line when you come to measuring your marketing ROI, so buckle in and let's do the work. Think of this like a before and after picture before you join the gym. It's the motivation to push your business forward and see those results. In this section you will find out how your website is performing, calculate your average sales conversion rate, i.e. how many sales you make per customer who visits, your average sale per customer, your website's current ROI. By doing this you can understand how well your website is working for you today. and then you can assess and move forward to make more sales and get more traffic. But before that, we have a confession to make. We're sorry to tell you this bad news, and we're going to be horribly honest with you. There is math involved. But if you're anything like us, then we feel your pain. And that's why for each section of this guide, you'll find fill in the box done for you math sections. Simply take the numbers we ask you to find, enter them in the box, and voila, all calculations done with minimal effort. So there's no excuses. Let's put those myths to rest and get you started by tracking your website's current performance. In the next few sections, we have a number of videos explaining in detail how to implement some of these tasks. You can find links to those in the added section here, or you can see it all in the article at twotreesmarketing.com/digital marketing ROI. We do include a bonus cheat sheet that has all the videos, all the downloads, a checklist of how to do all of this in one go. But back to the article. So setting up your analytics. To be able to measure your site's performance, you will need to make sure that you have some kind of analytics software installed on your website. If you don't have it set up already, click the video and we'll walk you through adding it to your website. Easy peasy. This is where you're going to start dominating your competition. It's the first step and it may seem so inconsequential, it's why you will succeed. Most people simply install Google Analytics, check it twice, and then forget about it, and this is why they fail online. You can't reach those lofty goals, that bikini body, that 200-pound deadlift, by never measuring and adjusting your goalposts. We don't mean that you should analyze with a fine-tooth comb each week, but if we set it up correctly, a simple 5-minute look once a month will suffice. One of the key areas we want to set up are conversions and channels. By having these in place, we can see exactly which method is bringing in which traffic and where it's converting. You are already a step ahead of your competitors by doing this. Let them keep their spending budget on low ROI areas with no return. It just leaves more room for you to push forward. It makes sense to know where your visitors are coming from and which is making a sale. This way you can repeat more of the same. If you've never set it up before, don't worry, simply watch the video. Later on, we'll also track each channel of traffic and where your sales come from. This is known as conversion trafficking, and it's pivotal to see where your site is working and failing. But for now, let's find out how your site is currently performing today. Video included. So you're going to need to know or find out how the following works to understand how your website is currently doing today. You need to know your current traffic, your monthly sales, the total number of sales per month, and the marketing spend. So how to find your monthly traffic? Assuming you already had Google Analytics set up and you missed it in the video, simply head over to Google Analytics, go into Audience, Overview, and then look at the number of sessions. You should find a number here that reflects your number of site visitors per month. Make a note of this number, you're going to need it in a moment. Monthly sales in dollars and total unique sales. Now, if you've only just set up your analytics, chances are high you won't have set up your conversion page just yet, so you won't have any specific data to track. We'll cover this later on, but by having your site track certain actions that visitors take, we can understand what is bringing you traffic and which of that traffic converts into a sale. But that's still to come. That being said, we still need to figure out your monthly sales. If you have a record of list of sales online, perhaps you have email confirmations, or PayPal confirmations, it will help you to understand how many sales your business makes online per month, which will help you to improve those sales. We will need both the dollar amount and also the total number of transactions. For example, you made 9 sales and a total of $400. 9 will be your total sales, 400 will be your total dollar sales. Keep a note of both of these figures. They're about to go into your fill in the box answer forms. Conversion rate. Your conversion rate is the number of sales you make based off the number of visitors you receive. With this information, we can understand how much money your site can potentially make. We can use this to understand how an increase in traffic can affect your overall sales. All the forms do have all the math built in just so you can understand. To calculate your conversion rate, it is the number of sales divided by the total amount of website visitors, times by 100. This gives you your sales conversion rate. This is the amount of sales made per visitor to your site. Keep a track of the number of sales and total site visitors to use shortly. Average sale. Finally, we need to calculate an average sale value for your products or services. By having an average sales price, we can again understand how your business will be affected by increases or decreases in traffic. We understand you will have a wide range of products, but to calculate simply to approximate, divide the value of the total sales in dollars by the total number of sales. This will give you an average sale. We know that some of your products can vary hugely in price, but this will give you a rough estimate. As your traffic becomes more targeted and the volume of sales increases, you will notice that the average sale also increases, as you will be bringing in more targeted customers more often. Make a note of your average sale as it's about to be used in your calculations. Don't worry about performing the math, simply input the figures we ask for into the forms to find out your answers. So with this you can do 3 things. You will understand your site's current performance, create approximate figures of how adjustments to traffic or conversions will convert into sales. Finally, we promise you need to make a rough estimation of your current spend on your website traffic. This could simply be labor costs to add new stock, time spent sending emails, or perhaps writing a blog post now and again, or maybe you run paid Facebook adverts or newspaper campaigns to your website. You simply need a ballpark figure so you can understand how well your site performs for the investment in it so far. Again, make a note of this figure. So what we have now on the page is the current website ROI form. It's fully interactive. To make it easy for you, simply plug in the information you recorded before into the handy form on the right. Using the values found, you can learn your site's conversion rate, its average sale, your site's current ROI, and the dollar value per visitor who visits your site. By altering any of these figures, you will see dramatic changes in your website sales performance. Taking some figures that we found earlier for our running store, it gets 385 visitors per month. The total sales per month were 400. The current marketing spend on the website was $250, and they normally do about 3 sales. So their conversion rate is 0.78, and their value per visitor is $1.04. So their average sale is $133. So their current website ROI is 159%. Using these figures from the example, fill in the guide for yourself. So the more traffic you bring to your site, the more money it will earn, before you even improve the average sale or conversion rate. It's very basic stuff, but now you have some figures to work with. For example, 1,000 visitors will be $1,044 in sales. It's an approximation, but we can understand based off of how many sales you're making and your average ability to convert visitors into sales, how much more money your website would make each time. So how to improve your website's current ROI. So you already had a quick look at how your site's doing now, but let's have a look at how to improve on that and check what potential your site truly has. If we break it down into basics, the simplest method to improve your site's return on investment is to increase the traffic, and thus the number of visitors to your site. More traffic at the same conversion rate and average sale will mean more sales. It's not groundbreaking news, we know. But by knowing how much each visitor to the site is worth to you on average, you can begin to make calculations on how an increase in website visitors may convert into higher sales. With this in mind, you can start to allocate investment costs in line with your potential goals. It's also important to note that an increase in conversion rate, either via better targeted traffic or better on-site content to help sales, would also have a huge effect on your overall sales. But before that, if you're keeping contact with your customers, it's not just the first sale that's important, but their lifetime value to your business. Don't forget that every new customer could potentially be making purchase from you every month for the life of your business. So each new customer is worth so much more than that initial sale. If you're not doing business with this in mind, then perhaps long-term marketing may not be what you need, and you can probably skip the rest of this guide and just skip the video from now on. But if you are future focused for your business, by looking at how much a new lifetime customer is worth to your company will help you understand the value of a new customer and how much you can afford to spend to bring them into your business. Customer lifetime value. Step 2. A quick approximation of the lifetime value of your customer. So, you understand that a customer today may buy from you for the rest of their lives, especially as your product and services are so awesome, right? You're probably already a lifetime customer of a brand. It's just so ingrained in you, you don't even think of the competitors or that you're even that loyal. But I bet there's a brand you always buy. A certain cereal, a toothpaste, the garage you use for fuel, a bakery, etc., etc. Lifetime customers seem pretty appealing, as a repeat customer is much easier to sell to than a new customer. In fact, repeat customers make up a large percentage of a business revenue. Do you really think that we need 6 versions of the iPhone? Or is it because Apple realizes that their lifetime customers will buy irregardless? It probably wouldn't hurt to know how much each of these customers is worth to your business center. Let's do some basic napkin math. To calculate your customer lifetime value, your average sale times the amount of purchases a customer makes per year times by the average time they are a customer. It's pretty simple, right? So let's break it down into the example of a coffee shop. It's $3 per coffee. You drink 260 cups, which is 5 per week, 1 per morning, over 5 years. That's $3,900. That's assuming you don't buy any for your friends, upgrade, or buy a sandwich, etc. Now do you wonder why Starbucks gives away 3 coffees for every 10 bought? As long as they spend less than $3,900 to get you as a customer, then they're making a pretty good profit. We would actually recommend a much lower price than this to bring in new clients though. So think of this from your potential customers. How much can you invest to secure a new customer? Don't forget either, with good marketing and communication, you can increase your sales even further. So have you calculated your customer's lifetime value? Go ahead and do it now. Then, when you come to calculate the ROI of your marketing later on, you have a better idea of what you can spend, as well as understand how much you can invest for each new customer into your business. If you don't have all the information offhand, or you haven't been around for that long, you can check online for certain averages, or you can make estimated guesses based off your first year of purchase, or how many purchases people are making per month. In the form we have on here, we ask for your customer's average spend, how many times they purchase per year, how many years on average you are as a customer. This will give you their lifetime value. We've also got 2 terms on here, the short-term acquisition and the long-term acquisition. By calculating your customer's lifetime value, you can estimate some recommended investment costs to acquire those customers. Depending on how much money you have to invest and how well established your business is, will factor into if you should see your customer's acquisition from a short-term or long-term acquisition investment allowance. Now, that sounds overly complicated, but basically if your business has been around for a while and you have the money to invest, you can probably go for a long-term acquisition. You may not make an immediate profit, but it's worthwhile to spend money to collect new customers into your business, especially if you deal in high-end recurring items or services. The math below is simply a suggestion based on the merit of that customer into your business. If the life cycle is very short, perhaps don't invest as high, but here's an example for those doubtful. So now we have a coffee shop again, but this time it's in a holiday town, maybe a ski resort. Your base customers are great, but your transient customers don't have a long life cycle. But by having a buy-in for them, you may get them there every day of their holiday. They feel gratitude, had a great experience, and now bring their family each day or pop in for a quick cup of coffee. That 5-day customer has now been in each day and also bought sandwiches and other items that your locals don't. Heck, they might even buy a t-shirt and come back every year, and you can bet your ass that they recommend you to their friends when they visit. Long-term acquisition investment. Please bear in mind, these are simply recommended estimates. What we're trying to help you understand is the actual value of your customer. Your competition understands what each sale is worth in the long term, and that's why they outgun small-minded businesses for new clients. No, not small business, small-minded businesses. It's not because they have more money to spend, it's simply because they are prepared to make that investment. They understand what each customer is worth to them. In the example figures above, what we used to break even was assuming a 2.3% markup cost. If you're selling high-end products and services, we recommend going as high as this if you can afford it. The offset cost to acquire is soon made up by year after year of recurring new sales. So an example of this. This is why you sometimes get 3 first-year insurance on a new, more expensive car. That insurance cost may have been the final roadblock to stop you making that purchase. But by giving away 3, the chances of you making that purchase of that new car are greatly increased. From the insurance point of view, the overall lifetime cost far outweighs the first year for free. They're going to get you driving that car for years, they're going to make their money back. Also, this new car is your brand new baby. How cautious do you think you will drive that car in your first year? There's not much worry of paying out for the insurers either. But the other side of the spectrum. We had a chat with a colleague recently who was appalled they are paying almost $10 for a guaranteed sale. We were tempted not to include this, but we feel it's incredibly relevant. Their sale price was anywhere from $350 to $2,500 in the first year. That's not including recurring sales or lifetime value of their customer. And yet their mindset was that their customer should simply be theirs no matter what. And in an ideal world, they would be, especially if they had bought from you before. But your competitors are savvy to the actual value of that initial sale and are willing to buy them out from under you with advertising, marketing, remarketing, discount offers, etc., etc. This person would rather go through times of hardship with no clients than pay for each new customer into their sales funnel. And the cost of the leads all year would have been much lower than the money they lost not working during those slow periods, not to mention the loss of those future sales from that customer lifecycle. Start to think of your business and your potential customers a little differently. Short-term acquisition investment. Now, if you're a new business, you probably don't have the cash flow to invest that high at first. You can't give away a 3 years insurance, etc. That's why the short-term acquisition is based around 10% of your gross profit for that product. As long as your cost to get new customers is lower than this, then you can afford to be spending a little more, even 20% if you know you can keep them coming back for more. The greater the margin of value that you can afford to offer, the better. So not discount, but value. Example, again with another surf analogy. To learn to surf, you need lessons ranging from around $40 to $80 per person, depending on your location or the number of students in the lesson. Smart surf shop owners will discount or include the cost of a lesson inside the price of a new board purchase. The biggest roadblock to becoming a new surfer is, can you actually do it? That free lesson gets them past that fear, and then a discount of that lesson from a board purchase makes it entirely more appealing to start surfing. So they would pay for the lesson, and then if they wanted to buy a surfboard, they then got that price discounted off the surfboard. This way the owners brought the customer into their sales funnel, and that surfer will buy boards from you at $900 to $3,000 a board for the rest of their life. So the real cost of a lesson to the business owner? Their staff's labor costs and wear and tear. You're talking a $15 sale for a potential $15,000 lifetime spend. Mini catch-up. So now you know how your website's performing, what your customers are worth immediately, your customer's lifetime value, and the value of each new visitor to your site. With that in mind, let's look at how many new customers you could be getting by calculating your market, industry, and potential traffic. This way you can see the potential earnings your site could be making, and trust us. When you look at it like this, you'll be kicking yourself that you didn't start working on your site already. Step 3. How to measure the potential and increase your website traffic in your marketplace. So how can you get more traffic and visitors to increase your sales? Well, you can't just send any random person with no interest to the site and assume they will meet the same spending criteria as your current traffic. And if you're buying from places like Fiverr, that's exactly what you'll be getting. These new visitors still need to be qualified leads. With this in mind, you can laser target your customers down to specific demographics, spending habits, locations, or popular searches for your industry. This way you can ensure you only get visitors who will be interested in what you're selling. Long gone are the days of spaghetti cannon marketing. Smart business owners realize they don't need to try and convert every man and his dog. By using digital marketing in this way, you are also more efficient and target those people who are already interested and almost ready to buy. You rank or appear for the content, product, or service they are looking for. They find you and your content, they're already interested as is what they search for, they learn more, and then they progress through to a sale. So let's have a look at what traffic and searches your products and services are currently missing out on. To recap what we mentioned earlier, you currently have two methods in digital marketing to send traffic to your website. Pay-per-click advertising or direct marketing, which as its name suggests, consists of paid advertising to send people to your website. Each click to your site from the advert will cost you, but it can be very quick to take effect and has benefits in certain scenarios. Search engine optimization is based around optimizing your content to attract organic search results via search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube, etc. This can be slower to take effect, but cheaper and longer lasting. Let's have a look at both, see how they can work for you, and then compare the results and the costs. So let's find that traffic. In this section, we'll show you how to analyze your market, find key search terms that your customers use to find yours or your competitors' services, show you how to find those sneaky, not defined keywords Google tries to keep from you, and help you track and calculate the ROI of both PPC and SEO for your marketing. How to analyze your market. To really understand your market, you need to break down your products and services into their key components. Really go back into its fundamentals and think, what is it that you do or offer? For instance, we perform PPC, SEO, remarketing, and content marketing. But really, we help businesses get traffic. So what about your business? If you sell running shoes, are you selling shoes? Or are you selling fitness? Or perhaps even selling good health, or the opportunity for it? The key issue we find is that most business owners are too involved in their business to step outside and see it from a customer or third-party perspective. To understand your customers' needs, you need to understand what they actually want and will look for. If you want to sell more running shoes, perhaps don't just target those who are looking to get fit or lose weight or to look cool. All of these will be applicable. Instead, also try to market at the beginning of your sales funnel. Those who are thinking of changing their life, their habits, their diet, looking for new fun activities, etc. So action time. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper and create a quick list of ideas of what your customers would want from your business. What we want you to do is to write a quick list of 10 things they want, not need, but genuine desires, their end goal that you're helping them achieve. For instance, a great running shoe will be supportive, light, and long-lasting, but that's its function. It's not why the customer buys, it's simply what helps them make a final decision. Their desire instead is to get fit or healthy or look good naked. Time spent here will help you understand and attract more customers than you ever have before. Now, let's add to that and think of 10 more intricate, in detail keywords of what your customer would use to search for your product in Google. So this would be the functions. So not product names or brand names, but perhaps lightweight running shoe, or running shoes for women, or cross-country running shoes. Finally, next to that, make a list of your top 10 competitors and their website addresses. Last but not least, go to Pinterest.com and search for each detailed function keyword that you looked for and make a copy of each of the URLs or web addresses. So now you've got them all written down on your notepad, we're going to put them into a tool below. We suggest making something nice and easy like this. What you'll do now is analyze the traffic for each of those terms and use it to find great additional ideas of what your customers may be searching for. This has 3 benefits. You now know what to rank for so a customer will find you online, and we can find out how much traffic that could bring. You'll be using the actual terms that they've been using to look for. You now know what product customers are searching for, so you know what to stock and what not to. You also now have a better understanding of your marketplace. It's much easier to become a market leader if you actually know what your clients want. Now, let's use your list to find out what those customers are looking for. We're going to introduce another video here. You can find the video after this or a link directly, or you can go to twotreesmarketing.com/digital marketing ROI. Introducing the Google Keyword Planner. Now, if you've never used this tool, don't panic. All the tools we're going to be using are 3 and fairly simple to use. It's a simple 3 tool made by Google to track traffic and search volume for certain key phrases or keywords when people use their search engine. By knowing what people are searching for, you can make sure that your website is found when people search for those terms. Don't be silly here. Make sure that you target intelligent searches that make sense and will bring the correct traffic to you. Just because Justin Bieber haircuts gets a heap of searches and is easy to rank for doesn't mean that it will increase your sales. Unless, of course, you're a gossip magazine or a hairdresser's perhaps. For instance, right now in New Zealand, Justin Bieber haircut gets 480 searches a month. So let's walk you through the process with the example in the video, but also chat quickly about why you're going to do this to make it a little more appealing to do the work. You want to find out what terms your customers are searching for when they use Google. If we can understand what they're searching for, and you can understand what products to stock and how to appeal to your customers, and even find out the average searches per month. The difference by knowing this can be huge, phenomenally huge, crazy huge. You get the point? Example, you're Al Bundy again, shoe salesman. You have a store at the mall and it should bring in traffic but sales are low. Looking in the keyword tool, you find that the new Nike shoe is getting 30,000 searches per month and the new Reebok is getting only 15,000. This is genuine searches performed in Google local to your region. Your potential customers are actively searching where to buy these specific products. Now, you can be pretty sure it will be wise to get a few extra pair of Nikes for the stockroom. Not only can you find the number of searches, but you can also see the suggested CPC, or cost per click, for each term recommended by Google. In pay-per-click advertising, this is the cash price you would have to pay Google every time a visitor clicked on your advert and came to your website. The price can vary from a few cents to a few $100s per click, depending on the market and the competition, but don't worry, it's usually somewhat fair to your industry. And don't forget, you're now armed with the knowledge of how much that new customer is worth to your business. $2.52 per click to sell some $120 shoes. And that customer may buy 10 shoes that year. Shut up and take my money. So how to use the Google Keyword Planner? While searching for your potential terms, you need to be keeping track of each correct keyword that you find and also the number of searches per month and the CPC for that term. With this, you can also evaluate the difference between PPC traffic and costs and SEO traffic and costs. You may get the hint that even though we do both, we're a big believer in SEO. So let's get started looking into your market, use those list of terms you came up with before, find out what your customers are looking for, and then apply that to calculate your potential traffic. Click the video below and add any keywords you find to the sheet. It's about to get very interesting. Note, if this is your first time running through, don't worry. We have a complete checklist as a free download at the end of the guide to help you through this. Feel free to just read or watch for the first time through. Also, be sure to use the methods we discussed to find those hidden terms you wouldn't normally find. Check in Pinterest for those hidden URLs, analyze your competitors, and find out those non-disclosed terms that are hidden in your web analytics. The next video goes into using the Google Keyword tool. You will find a link here or in the article. Now that you've searched for each keyword opportunity, you've hopefully been recording the average searches per month and CPC cost for each keyword. The CPC can vary based on the competition and how Google ranks that keyword with buying intent, etc. CPC can vary greatly on industry, and you'll be surprised which are the most expensive. So the CPC for running shoes is much lower than the CPC for a company selling cash loans, simply due to the high sales return and demand for loans, and there's a lot more competitors spending larger budgets. Right now there are 550,000 searches for a payday loan in New Zealand, and each click would cost you $18.80 per click. That's just a cool $10,340,000 per month in paid advertising costs. But then, if they made 15% profit on $550,000 times $500 loans, that would be a cool $41 million gross profit that month. Mind blown. Now that you've found your amazing key terms to target, enter the keywords, the searches, and the cost per clicks in the chart below. From this, you can start calculating the potential traffic and sales that you could attract to your business. Note, for use of space, we've only included a small section to add in your info. In the download version, you can add up to 40 keywords. So you can see in here we have the keyword, the search, and the cost per click. You can see there's a total number of searches for your services way beyond what your website is currently attracting. Using the original example of a running shoe for a sports store, this one keyword alone has 165,000 searches per month. The cost per click is $3.85. This brings the total cost per click of $635,250 per month. But this would also equal 3,681 more sales per month. At an average sale of $44, that works out as an additional $169,000 in sales. Obviously, this is not cost effective in this method, but there are other means of bringing that traffic in. But if you did need immediate traffic straight away, you could make sales. Plugging this information into the initial formula, you can see that you could be earning substantially more via your website every month. If you have a retail location, we wouldn't be surprised if this would also surpass your in-store sales also. So, digital marketing is looking pretty good right now, eh? But of course, to get all this new traffic and sales, it won't be for free. You can already see that from the total PPC cost per month, not including the agency fee for them to run it for you. So would investing in digital marketing be worthwhile? You know that more traffic is equal to more sales, even if your conversion rate stays the same. Although again, it would almost definitely improve. You now also have a rough idea of how much traffic you're missing out on. So let's do the fun stuff. Let's plug in that new information into the same charts as before and see how much of a difference in monthly sales it would make. But don't forget you're missing one important figure: the potential cost to bring in this traffic. It won't be cheap, but you'll soon see that the rewards far outweigh the costs. And since when has anything cheap been worth doing? Let's find out the cost super quick and then add all that into the form below. So calculate your potential marketing ROI. Step 4. In this section, you'll be measuring the traffic you found for your industry against the cost to acquire that traffic. This way you can learn if it's worthwhile to start pushing more traffic and sales via your website, or if it's a wasted resource. Either way, you will have the peace of mind and know how to advance. Costs. SEO costs can vary depending on your agency, the industry you're in, the competitiveness of your market, if you're ranking internationally or locally, etc., etc. PPC can be much the same, depending on which agency you use to manage your campaigns, and again, the competitiveness of your industry. Looking at the payday loan example before, you'd probably be paying 20% of the PPC total cost to the agency as their fee to manage your campaign. Of course, you could always do some of the work yourself, but people often underestimate the time investment. Marketing is a full-time profession. Even if you're fully qualified and experienced, the time involved can be 10, 20, 40, 60 hours plus a week or more for competitive markets. It's not just flicking switches and renaming images. But to attempt any calculations, we do need some baseline costs to evaluate. So SEO pricing. Looking at reports from Forbes.com and numerous professional surveys, you can see that an average monthly cost from SEO ongoing work can be anywhere from $750 to $10,000 per month. It's not cheap, but let's get serious here. Do you really want to put the future and interests of your business in the hands of someone charging burger chef wages? If you think hiring a professional is expensive for your business, wait until you hire an amateur. But like we say, the costs to invest are entirely dependent on your goals and how competitive your industry is. You might be lucky, but if you're in pharmaceuticals, gambling, or credit cards, look at upwards of $20,000 per month. So pricing data. Bear in mind that the data is over a year old and prices will have risen with inflation since then. For instance, we ourselves don't run any campaigns for less than $2,000 per month, and that's our entry level. To perform work at our standard with professional finish and outreach and added secret tactics, it's not cheap, and that's why the value to the customer is not cheap. It's far beyond that. SEO has become much more inclusive with multiple methods applied to help your ranking. It's not just adding to directories or spammy links anymore. In fact, the wrong information can damage your rankings. Just off the top of our heads, SEO is involved into quality content, fantastic outreach, guest writing, link building, optimizing your website, optimizing your social profiles, reverse engineering your competitors, running campaigns with your SEO in mind, and more and more. But we digress. The reason we're talking general pricing is just so you can measure the potential gains. You need to understand the costs to see how they weigh up against each other. In the interest of honesty, to know more accurately for your business, this is where you may have to talk to an agency to find their pricing. Simply send them your site, tell them your keywords and industry, and get them to quote you up. You will find more than likely they will have found a number of additional keywords that you have missed. But this guide is designed for you to bypass some of that thirst and find out if it's worthwhile for your business to invest. So let's use a ballpark figure for now. You can always add in the exact costs from an agency later on if need be. So let's say for the sake of argument you have a middle of the road $3,000 per month cost for SEO. You can calculate the cost to achieve your goals and the approximate ROI based on this simple-ish formula. Again, all these formulas are in the interactive forms below. It's just so you can help you understand. So to measure the ROI for your marketing, it's the total searches to your site times by the conversion rate per visitor times by the average sale minus the cost of your marketing divided by your marketing. That'll give you a percentage of how well your marketing is converting into profit. To figure out how well each dollar spent converts into dollars earned, aka your return on investment. If you plug in the data for the total searches and the information you found out earlier from looking at your website, you can now see the potential earnings your business could make. And it's much the same with PPC. You would be looking at either a flat fee or a percentage of your total spend. So the total CPC cost can be perhaps 20% or more, depending on the industry and competition again. Now, we promise not to include too much math, so we have simplified it for you. Just take that previously entered information and results and enter them in the forms below. The only variables to change are the SEO agency costs, and remember to add 15% to the PPC total, unless you are running it yourself, of course. This way you can compare the new traffic to your original traffic, the cost to acquire that new traffic, how many new sales your site could make, what the cost is to make those new sales, how the costs of PPC and SEO compare, how the ROI compares, and how they compare over a 5-year period. So what we've got down here in the potential website ROI forms, you want to put in your current monthly traffic and your projected monthly traffic. So originally we had 385 visitors to the shoe store. With just the one keyword tracked, it's 165,000 searches. The conversion rate we know was 2.04. Average sale was $44.44. Then what we've got here is the break-even point for SEO and for PPC. Basically, how many sales you would have to make before you start to make a profit. So your website right now is currently making 7.85 sales a month. With the new SEO or the new PPC, if you are getting that new traffic, you'll be looking at 3,366 new sales a month, or an additional 40,000 sales per year. So the current marketing cost that the business had before was $250 for Facebook ads. Projected SEO costs will be around $10,000 a month. The PPC costs, you will be looking at about $50K. So now we know that to make our money back, you would have to make 110 sales of your average sale before you would make your money back. But you would still have 3,200 sales on top of that to profit from. At the PPC version, it will be much faster and you would get that almost straight away, but it wouldn't be till you made over 552 sales before you made your money back. Now, your website as it is today has a current website ROI of 1.85%. With the SEO and the new traffic, it has a ROI of 1,495%. We've also bothered to include the approximate profit for year 1, year 3, and year 5 to your business. So you can see how this goes up here. In your first year of your business as it is now, you're looking at about $98 per year in profit. By the 5th year, you'll be looking at $495. If you were to get that traffic for that one keyword, you will be looking at $730,000 profit in your first year. You can see it quite makes sense to push forward with digital marketing in this example, but you do need to look and find out for yourselves. Put in the information you found out yourself to find out. It might not be worth it for your business right now. So using the running shoes example we had earlier, we now have the following. We went up from 385 original visitors to 165,000 new visitors. We had a 2.34% conversion rate and an average sale of $44. So the CPC cost per month was actually a lot higher. It was over $700,000. You can see these figures below again, but please do go ahead. And if you've skipped anything so far, don't worry, a step-by-step system is in the added download section. So looking at the same figures for your site with your new traffic, without even improving your conversion rate or average sale, you should be looking at some very interesting numbers. Assuming you manage to actually find all that mystic traffic in Google during this guide. You can now see how much additional income your website could be bringing in each month compared to how it works currently. Even by increasing your conversion rate by 1%, your difference in sales will be phenomenal. For example, you could simply make sure your site loads faster. As easy as that, and you can improve sales. Why? Amazon found out that for every second that a site took longer to load, their traffic and conversions dropped by $1.6 billion. Google themselves even use site speed as a ranking factor. A slower website means lower rankings and less traffic. They want their best content to get to their viewers, but it also seems that most viewers would leave after 3 seconds of loading anyway. They found that customers who waited more than 3 seconds for a site to load simply left. And this is simply one method to improve your conversions. We haven't even touched the surface of traffic generation or increasing your average sale yet. That's for the next article. Here you can see the research that was provided. Calculating SEO and PPC ROI versus traditional marketing. Looking at the form, we can see that the ROI for both SEO and PPC and see how well they compare. For every dollar invested, to a point, X amount of dollars is returned. One normally blows the other out of the water, and in this example it really did. But if you haven't used ROI to measure how well a campaign is working, you probably don't understand how that compares with other methods. A 2% difference doesn't always look that awesome until you look at the big picture and see the effects. That's why you buy gas for 8 cents cheaper, right? Over a year, that adds up. Below is a survey from Sempo.org. They performed markets research with their clients of different marketing methods and the results and ROI achieved. So let's look at the traditional marketing ROI. Looking at the more traditional methods, you can see that bar email marketing, SEO, face-to-face sales, and PPC dominate in terms of money spent to money returned. SEO in this example had a 50% ROI, email marketing of 44%, face-to-face sales of 13%, and so on and so on. In-person sales can always be effective, but the goal here is to have those 24-hour-a-day online customers that are left on the table catered for. Don't forget, by sending customers to your site with SEO and PPC, you can collect their email addresses to try and sell to them again and again, which we would also highly recommend. It's important to track the ROI of your campaigns to understand which methods to continue growing your business. Because that's the end goal, right? You invest X amount in marketing, you want to earn more back than you spend. Now, obviously we're leaning towards digital marketing, but not just that, smart marketing, actually targeting your correct customers. So here's an example. We live over in the Bay of Plenty, New Zealand. It's beautiful. You should come visit. Each week in the newspaper, there are on average 12 different roofing companies advertising their work. Seems a lot, right? With tropical winds, etc., we can get damaged roofs quite easily. Each roofer is spending between $300 to $500 per week in this newspaper alone, hoping to get a few $500 to $2,000 sales in return. Now, that's simply poor targeting, and let me explain why. Currently, the total readership for the newspaper is in the thousands, so it seems a pretty good deal. But how many of those people are your target audience, the audience for the roofers? How many people actually read the paper? Just because it's delivered to your address doesn't mean it will get read. If they do read it, how many of them will be homeowners in need of roof repair? I'm guessing not a huge amount. And here's the final kicker. In this particular area, more than 80% of homes are not owned by their occupants, but instead by international owners or letting agencies. So on the off chance that your $500 advert finds the correct person, they read the paper, they see your advert and not the 11 others, and then they need roof repair, they are not at liberty to choose who to use. They simply call their letting agency, who probably has a guy they go see. This is not the most effective use of your marketing budget, huh? So how could they turn this around? How about a targeted pay-per-click campaign to those letting agencies? Or perhaps ranking some content on roof repair for homeowners and property managers? Perhaps ranking for emergency repairs? You would increase your rankings for organic searches because the people who need someone to call right now for repairs are not going to the newspaper or yellow pages. They will Google the repair guy and call the first one that pops up at the top. You know I'm right. They're in a rush, they need an emergency, they call the guy. You would do the exact same in your situation, right? And that's why either a smart paid pay-per-click campaign or SEO campaign would work to rank for perhaps town plus roof repair or emergency roof repair would turn over a huge return. There's actually 5,000 searches per month for this term. At a $500 average spend, you can probably guess the ROI. So SEO and PPC break-even comparison. We covered this just before, but just so it's clear the difference between the two methods to receive similar results. The question is, how fast do you need the traffic, and do you want to keep renting it or start investing in it from now onwards? If you're a keen observer, you also saw that we mentioned comparison ROI, 1, 3 and 5 year profit estimate, and traffic break-even points. So again, this is how well each method performs against each other, the difference in profits minus costs over a long-term investment, and the number of sales required to break even against your marketing costs. By having this information, you can also see the difference in costs over long term and how much traffic you would have to generate before you even break even. Let's be clear, each method will be able to break even. It just gives you a clear idea on how your site is performing and when you can start to expect good profit in your investment. We calculate the break-even point as such. The marketing cost divided by the average sale is the total number of new sales required to break even. Then, if we look at that from your conversion rate, we know that total sales divided by conversion rate is the amount of visitors required. So we understand how much new traffic you need to get to your site before you're going to start making that money back. Don't worry, All these calculations are done for you already in the form. We just wanted to explain how and why to help you understand a little more. Obviously, like any of the calculations, it's all based off approximations. You may break even much quicker or slightly longer. Either way, you will profit in the long term. Now you are aware of what point is required to break even in your marketing costs and profits. So what to do now? Like that before and after picture in the gym, so many people quit before they see the rewards. To you it seems there's no physical changes, but if you're measuring each day, you can clearly track the rewards and change your physique. The same must be done for your marketing in all channels. Otherwise, how will you know if those methods are paying off? Let's finish this beast of a guide off by you learning how to measure all these methods and how they affect your website traffic. How do you know that emails are making sales if you're not tracking it? Are you getting clicks through from Facebook or something else? Are those clicks turning into sales or are they worthless? If you know where it's most effective, then surely you can increase that method to improve your sales. Check out the further video below to understand how to step-by-step build separate conversion channels for your site into your Google Analytics and to understand what it all means. Step 6. Measure your marketing efforts. In this section, we'll break up your Google Analytics into conversions and channels. Basically, where is the traffic from and what's classified as a sale or an important action for you. These can be set parameters that you put in place. If email collection is your most important goal, you track which of your traffic converts and where they are being lost. You can also see where to invest and where to reassess, i.e. what's working and what clearly isn't. Some people get 40% sales via email marketing, but some people can't even get them opened. Don't just take people's word for it. Learn to measure your efforts and see what works. Check out the video below at twotreesmarketing.com/digital marketing ROI or the link in the video. In this, we tell you how to set up conversion channels for your Google Analytics. So now that you have your conversions and channels, be sure to come back monthly and see where your traffic is coming from, how it's converting, and assess which channels to focus on. If that $250 spent on Facebook adverts is only making 4 sales, is it really worth it? Well, that depends on if those sales are worth more than $250, or if they're bringing in new leads perhaps. Be sure to check and find out. What gets measured gets managed. Conclusion. You guys rock. You made it through this entire guide, but not only that, by implementing this information and not sitting on your butt and doing it later, you've learned how your website is performing, what potential traffic you're missing out on, how much that traffic is worth to your business, the costs and ROI for that traffic, the customer lifetime value of each of your customers, and how to measure each of your marketing efforts on your site. Wow. Not bad, eh? So now you know all this, the burning question remains. What are you going to do with this? All information is worthless if not put into action. Are you going to leave all those sales on the table for the other guys to take action, like for example with Surf Stitch? 2 guys from a garage now have the biggest market for their product in the world. So what's stopping you? Are you going to stop wasting money on poorly targeted marketing still? Are you going to take your business from that £50 weekling to that £200 machine? Don't forget to download your bonus to get started with your cheat sheets, videos, and guides of how to do this for your business. Now, we didn't write all this for free. All we ask is one simple thing for you to return the favor. Leave a comment below of how you're going to start taking action. We love helping you guys out, so if you have any other questions or are struggling, please throw us a message in the comments. And if you're feeling really generous and you have friends and colleagues who would benefit from this, then simply share this with 2 of your friends who you just know it would help their business. We would really appreciate it, and so would they. So don't forget to come over to twotreesmarketing.com/digital marketing ROI and download your exclusive bonuses.